When I first started my YouTube channel, I didn't realize that YouTube was a way to make any kind of money. I just started making videos. I saw gun videos, guys shooting, and I've had a love for firearms as long as I can remember. And I just wanted to, show and tell, pretty much. Started out just shooting the guns that I had, did some survival videos just along the way. And one thing that I noticed was that there were a lot of people out there that were afraid. They felt isolated. They felt like being part of the gun community or the survival community. They felt like that they were outside of the norm, that they were the minority. And it was one of the things, a lot of times questions would come in and people would be desperate. I know that a lot of times, especially on the survival side, people were saying, I'm seeing videos where they're saying, if you're not prepared now, it's too late. And just a lot of panic. And so I began to, it kind of inspired me just to start making more and more videos and talking to people and saying, look, get prepared, do a little bit every day. Don't go nuts, don't go crazy. That's one of the reasons why I started my Sensible Prepper channel, which has grown and has done very well. It was a very smart move at the time, even though I didn't mean for it to be. But the whole thing that I've always tried to achieve, and my mission, is twofold. Number one, firearms are an excellent means for self-defense, and you need to be responsible for your personal self-defense. Not only for you, but also for your family, for your loved ones. We can't rely on law enforcement, and we never should have. A lot of our society does. We kind of, 911 is the deal. But we all know the saying that when seconds count, law enforcement is minutes away. Guys, you do have the responsibility for your self-defense. And a lot of people are realizing that. The other thing about the YouTube community is that it reaches a lot of people, more than any other platform. And so it was really getting a lot of people. In fact, I've said this a number of times, being at different events, especially NRA, I would have people come up to me and say, I watched your video, just stumbled across it. And then I started watching other gun videos. I went out and purchased a gun. I bought my wife a gun. We got our concealed carry. We joined the NRA. We're now here at the annual meeting. And guys, that is huge. I've had up to 30 people come up to me at one NRA annual meeting and say that. And it made a big impression on me, because it made me realize that YouTube is just a wonderful tool to not only spread the message that we have the Second Amendment and we have the right to defend ourselves, but it also, again, gave people a sense of community, that you're not alone, that there are a lot of people that feel the same way. Same thing with the prepping side. Guys, there are things that happen. You don't have to be a doomsday prepper. Prepping is something that is needed in a lot of areas of your life. It's like I like to say, each of us can have a personal SHTF to where it doesn't affect anyone else in the world except you. And being prepared, whether it's in your home, your vehicle, whether it's food, water, shelter, a natural disaster is definitely something that we need to be prepared for. And again, being prepared in your home to defend your home. And so all these things come together. And so the mission that I have, and I've never had a mission statement, but one thing though that I do say is that you need to be a rugged individual. That means you need to be tough, you need to be strong, you need to be able to handle things that come into our lives, and you need to continue to build that. The other thing is independent thinking. And, not being controlled by what you're being fed by our national media. Whether it's CNN, MSNBC, or even Fox News. Guys, being able to discern, being able to think these things through. Understand where our founding fathers gathered their inspiration to put together the Constitution. It's really important to know these things and to be what America is all about. And guys, a lot of times I get busy. I mean, there's a lot of products out there. There are a lot of guns. There's a lot of gear. There's a lot of stuff out there on the market. And if I'm not careful, I get so involved in the stuff that I forget about why I do what I do, even though it has always been an underlying core of what I do. You know, lately I've just hired my daughter. She's working full-time for me for the Sootch channel, and it's much needed because I've been a little overwhelmed. And that's one of the reasons why I got started back into thinking about my roots, because I explained to her what the channel was all about. You know, a lot of times I get blamed for being a shield or someone that's just a salesman, and I'm trying to sell guns and sell stuff and, you know, get you guys to buy things. But here's the deal. You know, I see there's a lot of good products out there, but I am never, and this is a commitment, it's a promise, I am never going to say something about a product that's just not true. I'm not going to hide anything. I'm not going to mislead you in any kind of way, because to me it's way too important that when you make a purchase, it's going to be a good purchase. Now, I can't know everything about the firearm. You know, I can't know everything, but this is my interpretation. It's what I see. And I don't always just judge it to my personal preferences or what I like, because we all have different preferences. We all have different experiences. We all have different hand sizes. We have different body strengths and weights, and all that kind of stuff comes into play. And so while a lot of guys love the Glock, there are just as many people that don't. And so I have been shooting Glocks for a number of years. You guys know that I'm a big Glock fan, but I do realize that there are a lot of guns out there that are actually superior in ergonomics and a lot of other things. But it's just something that I've invested heavily in. I've shot thousands and thousands of rounds through the Glocks, whereas some of the other pistols that to me I could look at and say they're just as good or maybe even better. But I just don't quite have all the experience. Now, that doesn't mean that your first purchase should be a Glock. It may be something else. So the big thing that I want to really kind of put together here, guys, because you are my core. You're my Patreon members, which, guys, if it wasn't for Patreon, I would not be able to continue being on YouTube, at least full-time. And then also the guys that subscribe to our website newsletter. And we're going to be doing a vlog, and this is what it's going to be. This is the first installment of just some things that to the guys that are really my core guys. And I really appreciate all the support, because, you know, on the internet there's a lot of negative. There's a lot of people that say things, and, you know, they wouldn't say to your face, but they will say it, and they can be very ugly. And so I don't let those things bother me. I just stand on the principles that I adhere to. I'm a man of faith. I'm a Christian. I believe in honor, and I believe in character. And so for me to lie and to deceive is just not who I am. So I do appreciate everything that you guys have done. We're going to continue to promote the Second Amendment. We're going to continue to promote being prepared. But we're also going to show you a lot of cool products, because a lot of guys like to see it. And I have a passion for firearms, not only for self-defense, but just the love of the art and people using their talents to improve. And I love innovation. And so all these things play together in the Sootch YouTube channel. And again, guys, I appreciate all of your support wherever it is. You know, I do this full-time. I've been full-time for about 6 years now. And it definitely requires money. But we're working that out. Guys, even if a video is sponsored, and I will say on the video, this was sponsored by so-and-so, or this gun was sent to me by so-and-so, because I want to thank that company. It does not mean that I will ever say anything that is not true about a product. What I'm doing is I'm laying it out, I'm showing you, I'm taking it out and testing it, and this is what I'm finding, and this is what I'm going to portray to you. Because here's the deal, guys, and the bottom line. I have friends, a lot of friends through my life, that get in touch with me and say, man, I found you on YouTube. This, and they're always saying, man, I can't believe you're on YouTube. And I bought this gun after watching your video. I don't have time to tell them, well, that's not all that great of a gun. I know I said that on video. Friends, family, my own brother has bought things. Not asking me, just watched a video and said, oh, that looks good, and bought it. And so that's too important. The other thing is people come up to me when I'm at meet and greets, and they'll say, hey, I bought this gun because of your recommendation, and they'll ask me some questions about it. And that's serious for me. That is something that, I have to think about. Because here's the thing, and this is the last part of this video, is that I do get messages from people that have gone through real world experiences. When I put up a video, some of them, in fact, I think my top video is 3 million plus views. There are people that watch that video that will face a self-defense or a survival situation. The odds are there. They just will do it. And I've had tons of messages from people that have gone through situations, whether it's because I promoted a bug out bag and I said, here's some things you need. They put it together and then they experienced a tornado through their house and they said that bug out bag saved their life. Or someone that made a purchase of a gun and they ended up having to use it in a self-defense situation and have let me know. So all those things together come together for the Sootch channel. It's who we are. It's our core values. It's what we want to promote. I do appreciate every one of you. You know, I wish I could do more. I am very busy doing a lot. Sometimes I can't always get back to people. With Patreon, I make a priority to get back to you guys. If I don't, remind me. Send me another message. I'm not ignoring you, I promise. And so, again, I really appreciate everything you're doing. Guys, we have got to make this community strong, and we've got to be doing the right things. We've got to be the right kind of people. You know, we have values as conservatives. And, of course, liberals also own guns. And I'm not going to, you know, cast shadow on that. I appreciate you taking the responsibility. And we all have different ideals and different ways that we look at things. But when it comes down to it, guys, we need to be the America that we're hoping for. We need to be part of the solution and not part of the problem. And guys, we've become so divisive in this country. There's so many things that are really happening. And so now, honestly, more than ever, it's important that we realize that self-defense is our responsibility and that we protect ourselves and our families and those we love. And then also that we are prepared to deal with different things that could come into our lives. So guys, be strong, be of good courage. God bless America. Long live the Republic.